literally does not care about the rose, yet he's walking back in here in flip-flops in a scarf, by the way.
You're wearing a scarf. What's the difference between your scarf and his?
This is cashmere.
Hey guys, today we're talking The Bachelorette episode 4.
Season 20.
Mm-hmm. First things first, Braden's a realist.
Oh, yeah, Braden is a realist. Everybody else is just a bunch of douchebags, right?
Oh,
Braden's,
yeah.
Braden's the only one who gets it.
He's the real natural guy.
Yeah,
Everybody
right.
else is
Yeah,
the problem.
Yeah, he's the only guy. He's the only one who gets it. You
But
know?
we'll get to that. They're in Washington State,
Yeah.
hanging out.
So they just like go wherever.
They're going all over the place,
Yeah, no
man.
kidding,
This show is not stationary.
No.
Yeah, imagine the money, the cost to send these guys.
Oh, yeah, it's
to these
crazy.
places. And like obviously they have these
Definitely
big
more than
places
other
there.
shows. I hope
Yeah.
the ratings support this.
Yeah.
I mean,
No
it's been
kidding.
on for
Budget.
20 years, so
Yeah, and Donham gets his one-on-one date.
He does, man. And like everybody else, he gets his good make-out session. You know, Charity.
Yeah, I mean-
Charity is just very gracious. You know, she's
Very generous.
Well, they seem like more of a friendship, so now she's making
Yeah.
out with them, so I guess that's good to see.
Got to do some bungee jumping twice.
But who is
Twice.
she not making out with at this point, though?
Caleb. Caleb's not going to make out, man.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
yeah. Is there
Yeah,
anyone
he
else?
might be the only
He
one.
might, I think he's the only one.
Even
else.
Michael snuck in
think-
this
I was
week.
like,
so.
I was gonna say
exactly.
Michael
Yeah.
got in
I
there.
think Caleb's like the only one.
Tatum going up big time this episode.
Said Tatum.
Tatum.
Dope.
I
Tanner.
don't know who you're talking
Tanner.
about.
Oh, well,
Tanner Tatum.
Well,
Tanner, she literally just pulled him outside to make out with him. I was like, what the hell's the girl doing?
That's what I was because I was kind of rooting for Tanner.
She's like,
a
we're
little
looking for
bit.
Bigfoot, y'all.
And she's
Like,
like,
nah, I just
that's
came-
not why
I
we're
just came
here.
out to make out with you.
Man, I was like, well, all right, maybe she's got a connection with this guy I hadn't been seeing.
Nah, she had like never had a one-on-one with him. Nothing, man. She just pulled him outside and had a little make-out session.
Yeah.
Damn.
But she takes Donham out for bungee jumping.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would chose a dude that tall to pair up with to go bungee jumping, though.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Maybe she thinks he's going to hit first if it happens.
Well, then it's funny too though. What I didn't get, like they're both like all excited and shit. And she's like, "Oh yeah," and then all of a sudden it switches to her in front of the camera, and she's like, "I don't know if I can do this. It's just
There's
so
Billy
nervous."
crying.
But it's like, dude, like 2 seconds ago you were just like all excited and shit. Now
Yeah,
you're
but
crying
now
about it,
you're on the edge, like getting
Yeah.
ready to go
No,
over. That's
man.
scary, man.
It's for ratings, man. It's,
No,
You
I
think
would
she's-
totally be
Do
crying.
you think she's
It's
just
for-
fearless?
Yeah, man, she's fearless. She's making out with every gal on the show, man.
What I don't understand is like, you chose the date. You know
Exactly. Exactly. She chose it. Yeah, exactly.
Because that would
Did
be
she,
me.
or was the show like we got a bungee rig
she
here?
said she chose it. So.
Yeah.
I don't know,
So-
though.
Well, and she went back for a second jump.
That's right, man. Round 2.
Now that was cool because like you face your fear, you're like, okay, but she's like, I'm doing that
It's like,
again,
yeah, that's fun.
running that back.
Yeah, I would
Mhm.
not be running that back.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You died the second time. It's your own fault, though.
All right.
You
Yeah,
got away with it once.
That's right. You cheated dead the first time.
Yeah. But he went with her. He
Yeah.
was nervous too.
And he's like, "This is for you, Charity."
It's gotta be like
what?
one of the scariest things.
It's
you
like
can
I
do.
think she brought.
Yeah.
Maybe the squirrel jump thing is scarier.
Oh yeah,
but
squirrel suit.
ain't doing that.
Yeah,
Base
man.
jumping
Base
or
jumping.
something,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be crazy. Hell no.
but
Man, these dudes die all the time, man.
yeah, I know.
Crazy clowns. I'm like, holy
but
cow.
Braden's bragging because he knows her favorite color. It's
Yeah.
blue.
That's right.
And nobody else knows.
None of these
it.
other clowns
who-
know it.
who's doing the favorite color bit at this point?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
age. What's your favorite color? All of them. What do you think I am? A
Yeah.
child?
That's right.
He's a little bit worse, I think, in the beginning of this.
Oh,
He
yeah.
really is, and they're all now talking to the camera about it, right? They're all just like,
Well, especially-
we're over this shit show.
Yeah, well, they went on, they go on that group date, and then he does the same shit. He's out in the woods, like hooting and hollering, fucking
Yeah.
making a scene, and people are just like, dude,
I
we're
love Tanner.
we're
makes,
done with you, man.
Tanner makes the guy. He's like, Braden, do less.
Yeah, yes, bro. He's like,
Do less.
But Dotton and her go out and they have s'mores. Man,
Yeah.
s'mores always sounds like a good idea near a
They're
fire,
messy as
roasted
hell, though.
marshmallows, but
Mhm.
it's just it doesn't work
Very
out that
messy.
good
oh
normally.
yeah, they're super messy, man.
The
S'mores is so
taste
messy.
isn't as good as like the ingredients,
I don't know,
It's like
it's
like
pretty
chocolate,
good.
marshmallow, graham cracker. Oh,
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
good, man. S'mores are
I
good,
now
but
want a
Ah.
s'more. I now want a
s'mores are good, but they're messy as hell,
Overrated.
man.
The idea is better than actual taste of it.
I disagree.
I like them, man. I think they're good, but
I'm
again, they are super messy. Like I hate how messy those damn things
Super
get.
romantic though, being by the fire, roasting
Yeah.
marshmallows.
And he said that was his first time having a s'more, so it was his first s'more.
See, he knows.
That's right.
He liked it.
So I always assume these damn things are overrated, and I guess they are.
Yeah. But yeah, Dotton also shares how he came to the country at 4 and that experience, which is really cool.
Yeah,
and I
that's
think
cool.
some people in
He
this
said
country
his aunt, right? His aunt's the one that really
yeah,
got him to come.
people just take that for granted in this country, and it just shows
Mhm.
like how great America is. People coming here, fighting to come here. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Exactly.
So that's always good to see. You know, people who appreciate it and stuff, and I'm sure he does.
Oh yeah, no, you can tell he does. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
So then they have the group date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was kind of cool, man. You got. I mean, I thought it was. Well, what I thought was weird about it is you got these girls. You got these little Girl Scouts in there. They're probably like, what, 10 years old or something.
Mhm.
And then you're asking them. They're like asking them questions about like what kind. You know, like how would
Yeah.
you. You know, what would you do with charity? You know, it's like, dude. What,
They got some weird questions
yeah, for
too.
little girls,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man. I was like, what the
But I
heck is
did
that?
love the one little girl whose face was just like stone
Oh,
cold,
yeah, yeah.
and then at some point in time, somebody called them like, "You guys look like little demons," and they're like,
She's like, I'm a
"Who
demon.
calls a little girl a demon?" And she's like, "I'm a demon."
Yeah, and Caleb looked like the dude from the Big Lebowski with that like sweater
Oh,
thing he
yeah,
had
yeah,
going
that's right,
on. Like,
yeah.
is he trying to be like the dude, or
Right,
what's
yeah.
going on here?
Now he looked very awkward and uncomfortable out there in the woods, but he did come
Yeah.
back with a frog. I think.
Aaron phone. No, Aaron came out of the frog.
Yeah, Aaron
Was
came
it
back.
Aaron?
With
After he fell in the
it.
creek.
I don't know what Caleb came back with, but
I don't even think he showed.
Oh, I was talking about Aaron. My bad.
Yeah, I don't even think. Yeah, I don't
Caleb's
even-
the wrestler. Come on.
Gotcha.
I don't even think it showed what Caleb came back with. I mean,
Yeah, you're right. I don't
it
think
showed.
they did.
It showed
That's
Aaron,
because
Tanner,
Braden
and
made it the
Braden.
Braden show again,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
as he
yeah.
always does, and he's acting a fool.
And he copied Tanner. Tanner came up there. He's like, "I bought my platter," and the Braden's like, "Yep, got my platter."
Yeah. And Tanner's done with him at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Like in this particular setting, he's the one who's more frustrated than anybody. I
Yeah,
don't
no doubt.
You know, and the girls asked those 3 questions, and man, Braden has like dumb responses
Oh, yeah,
to a lot of the
totally does.
questions. Like everyone's
be
like, "What would you do
content.
to do this?" He's like, "I'm getting on one knee." He says, "To be content." I'm like, "To be content."
Yeah. Just content. That's
Yeah,
like a
he
satisfactory
always
in
makes it
school,
like
right?
about himself.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
dude, you're not the Bachelor. You're on the Bachelorette.
Right, exactly.
What are you doing?
Yeah. No, that dude, he just. Yeah, I mean, at first I liked Braden, and then he just like gets worse and worse every episode. You know, that
Yeah.
guy. It's like,
He's
man.
way too into himself.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
He
and,
thinks too highly of himself.
and
for sure.
Aaron ends up winning this competition. They go to the kissing tree. I mean, she just like jumps right
Yeah,
into
well,
it.
and that's the thing, man. Like, Aaron's responses weren't great either, right? Like, I think other
I was
guys.
surprised
He
Aaron
did say
won
get
that
on
too.
one knee, which
Yeah.
is kind of cool, right?
Yeah, but that was really it. You know, other than that, the rest of his stuff, like,
I think
like the
Tanner
frog,
should've
the
won
girls
that.
were grossed out by the frog that he brought for like to food and all that. And yeah, I think Tanner probably should have won too.
I did like the
But-
girls, like they're like he's Braden's eating the food and like, are you stupid?
Those girls were awesome.
Yeah, he's eating those wild radishes, man, just tearing them up.
Yeah. I hope that affected him later on.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts about the comp?
I mean,
Anyone else stand
I
out
was-
or anything?
I was concerned, like when they went to the kissing tree, it's like the rest of the guys laughed, and I'm like, is that all they get? But then they did have their
Little
get
thing after.
together later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after this, Aaron and Braden are getting into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then Charity like walks in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like she can hear it down the hallway, and she's making a beeline to this
Yeah,
conversation.
I mean, they're having the same conversation they've been having every episode.
every single time.
And so she walks in. Oh, you know what's going on here? And
It's
like,
kinda
Same
interesting.
shit that's going on every day.
Yeah, and when she walks in, like the guys aren't like super excited to see her. or
Yeah, no,
anything.
they're
It's kind of like,
quiet,
what are
man.
you doing here?
Yeah.
And they're like, we're having a conversation.
And then
Yeah.
it used to be like, there was Adrian who first called out Braden to Charity,
Mhm.
and then you've got Aaron that had called him out.
Yep.
But this is like man, this guy's a joke. Like everybody's chiming in, and they're like, we're all here to tell you, get rid of this
And
guy.
then what
Yeah.
happens? The same thing that happens every episode. She takes Braden
Braden
aside
aside.
again. And I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
But then he takes himself out. He's
yeah,
like,
I'm like, he doesn't even try and say the right
No.
things, which I'm like, I don't get this guy.
and the thing is, he never has, and she still kept
I know.
him, right?
And everyone's
So-
like, oh, he's a smooth talker. He'll
Yeah.
be fine. And I'm like, he doesn't even try and win her
Yeah,
over.
and it's
What
still him.
bothered me about this conversation is that he got her to a point where she's almost apologizing to him about how he feels about the situation. She's trying to make him feel better about being there. And I'm like, you are totally gaslighting this situation. Like, he kept saying,
Nah, because he was like, because he said, hey, this ain't you. She's like, oh no, I know it ain't me. She's like, I'm
No,
not.
that's
the
at the
problem.
very end.
at the very end,
Okay,
but
yeah.
at the beginning, she's like, I've tried to tell you over and over again. And he's like, it's just like, you're out there dating other guys and blah, blah, blah. And I'm
He's
just
like, I feel uncomfortable with this
and
process.
she's like, what can I do? Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like she's trying to, like, convince him to stay. And I'm like, at this point in time, I'd be like, look, if
Well,
this
she was
isn't for
trying.
you,
Yeah,
get the hell out.
it seems very obvious. She's really into this.
Oh,
But
guy.
she's totally into
why?
him. He's big time into that kid.
Like, and this is her thing. Like, and she keeps saying that she doesn't want to fall into the same patterns of like these toxic men. I'm like, he is so incredibly toxic. Like, you've got to wake up to this. Like, and like listen. And I think at some point in time that kind of hit her in that conversation.
But let me ask you this. I mean, the points he was bringing to her, like, look, I'm just uncomfortable seeing you making out with those other guys. I'm just really not
Valid.
into this. And he pulls himself out. So how toxic is that? I mean, he's pulling himself out like, okay, you know what? I decided this ain't for me. I'm getting out of here. So really, is that
I don't
toxic?
know if he's toxic
I don't
to
think he's
her,
toxic.
but he's toxic to the,
To the situation, yeah.
He he's toxic to the situation because he had no intent on ever being. Maybe he did when he
Initially,
signed
he
up for it,
probably
but when
did,
he got there and realized this is not going to work for me, he should have taken himself out at that point. But she was drawn to him, so his ego was boosted by that,
Yeah,
and
of
he
course.
liked
He's
the
24 years
attention,
old,
and he
you know.
wants to be the guy on the show. He has no intention at that point in time of ever getting down on one knee or
No,
being the guy at
probably
the
not.
end. So he was just there for the attention.
He's there for
and drama.
selfish reasons.
Yeah,
Like,
no doubt
I
about
don't
it.
know what he has to gain from doing what he's doing, but trust me, it's about him than anyone
It's
else.
definitely and like, and everybody else has always made it about her, and he's constantly asking her to make it about him.
Have they always made it about her? Now, when Adrian was throwing Braden under the bus, he was making it about him, trying to make himself look good.
I don't
When-
like
when
him
Aaron-
either.
When Aaron was throwing Braden under the bus, he was
I
making
don't
it
like
about
Aaron
him.
either.
Yeah, they weren't making it about her. I mean, at the end of the day, they were jealous and they were making it about themselves.
Yeah, I mean,
Trying to
they
be, oh,
try.
girl, I'm looking out for
they're
you.
all, they're all
Yeah.
saying that, but
No, it's all bad. They're making it about themselves.
I mean, she wasn't seeing it. She
Mhm.
wasn't seeing it, and he's also really like sugarcoating his truths because he said, "I've told you that," like, and he has on some level told her
Yeah.
his insecurities, but not the way he talks about it with the guys,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
And like when he said, but when Tanner said there's been a guy who's packed his bag twice, and he's like, I've told her that. She's like, not twice, you didn't.
But I mean, does it
I
really
mean,
matter?
obviously he would minimize it.
Yeah, he minimizes, like, he makes it more like, hey, I'm concerned that I might be getting myself into a situation where I could get hurt with her.
Right.
To her, but he's saying, like, I don't understand how you guys think you could fall for someone this quickly anyway, or like, you know what I mean, especially someone who's the reasoning behind it is completely different when he's talking to the men versus when he's talking to her.
I thought it was okay. I mean, I never really liked him, but I thought he was okay when he was having fun with her. But like that even went away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because he even told her, remember, he's like, look, at the point now where I don't even feel comfortable here,
Yeah, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, she tries to say I sent him home, but he really sends himself home. So
Yeah.
I don't
she
think
did
I don't.
come out and like make the other guys think
Oh,
that
yeah.
she sent
Yeah,
him home.
and I'm like, nah, he
Yeah.
kind of sent himself, but I
He
don't know if
totally
that's
sent
what
himself
he
home.
actually intended. Maybe he thought she would fight harder for him, but
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if he actually thought she'd go through. And send
I
him
think
home.
he thought and he wanted her to fight for.
Yeah.
But the fact that she
Like,
didn't,
you're
which is
not-
why he
again,
made
you're not the
Tanner,
Bachelor.
like-
What are you
Yeah.
doing? That's not how this is supposed to work.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
So-
no doubt.
And she's got too many guys there who are vying for that. Like, why would she put
that
herself
she
through
feels
that?
connections with. Like, if he was the only guy she was connecting with, but she has these really strong connections with all these other guys, and it's like, this is the guy who's causing all these problems.
Mhm.
It's a distraction. Get rid of him.
Yeah, so then he leaves, and then as soon as he left, I was like, what the hell? Where's all the drama that
I
we
was
got
like,
to see?
Oh my God, this show is staged.
Yeah, they cheated us. They cheated us of all this drama they showed us in the preview. And then, yeah, they redeemed themselves later, though.
But so he leaves, and then she has her one-on-one time,
Yeah.
which, previously when she's gone through something traumatic like that, it's like, the night is over.
Yeah,
But she's like,
Yeah. Well,
we're
she
going to
was
move past
bothered by
that.
it for sure.
Yeah.
she was.
She gathered herself together, and she spent one-on-one time with people.
And all that making out made her feel better.
Yeah,
And Joey got a great date, Rose. Even
Yeah.
though I didn't see too much of that date, maybe I missed it.
I think it was the group date rose that she gave him.
Yeah, she gave
Even though she made out with Aaron, she gave Joey the group date
Yeah.
rose. So yeah, which is weird. I thought. Yeah, when I saw that too, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Well, that
Like,
don't make any
She
sense.
just pulled. Yeah, it didn't make sense to me either because she pulled freaking Aaron in the makeout tree and like freaking going to town on him.
Well,
And what did Joey do in that?
Nothing.
Are you sure it's for that?
Yeah, she gave him the group date rose.
I know he got the rose, but I thought it
Yeah.
was because
No.
of like the one-on-ones after that.
No, it's for the group date.
Well,
They kind of like
that's probably
skimmed
why.
through everything, and
Yeah.
I was like, "What is
That's
this?"
probably why. Is there must have been something in that one-on-one time she
Which
had
was like, yeah,
because
yeah.
that's all part of the group date thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be fair, it was the scouts who chose Aaron, not Charity for the kissing.
Was it
tree.
though? Because they were like converse with Charity
Hmm.
together. So I think it was Charity.
I don't know. It was kind of that Girl Scout thing was kind of lame in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it was just a little weird having
I
these
thought it
little
was
girls. Yeah. It was a
I
little-
mean, like she didn't eat the crap they brought back. Like I'm like, what is this? Like
I
they're just
wouldn't have eaten
collecting
it either.
mushrooms. I'm like,
Wouldn't
huh?
have eaten that either.
Not like they're cooking it or doing anything special with it either. And I
Mhm.
mean, Braden ate the most. So
He did, man. He's tearing them radishes up.
But yeah, so she's having all these one-on-ones, and she's in the middle of a one-on-one with John, and they're
Getting a
going,
switch in, going,
at
yeah.
it,
Oh yeah, as always.
as always.
But
Yeah.
first, Xavier gets his one-on-one.
Oh, he did. That's right. Damn, Ashley.
Dang
Sorry,
it!
skip Xavier.
I want to get to this point.
You gotta
Yeah,
wait.
Xavier
You gotta wait.
and Charity get their jam on.
Oh yeah, they did.
Literally.
Oh yeah, that's the cocktail party.
Yeah.
I am all over the
Well, but
place,
then-
guys.
But Xavier really showed a good side of himself, man. And we
You know-
ain't got to see yet.
Yeah,
she
and I
hadn't
was
seen.
actually getting
Yeah.
pretty bored with the Xavier
was
date. I was like,
too.
this is lame. The other guy gets a helicopter ride, goes to the stadium. They're just out like
Yeah.
sampling stuff. They're they're at Costco practically. or
That's
something.
a reality date right there.
It is.
That's
But,
quality.
and then Xavier was kind of putting me to sleep. I'm like, I don't know about this guy. And then he tells the story about like his career and what drove him to that stuff,
Mhm.
and that was very touching.
Oh yeah,
And I
his mom.
remember that from the beginning. But during that boring part of the date, she kept saying, she's like, he would kept reminding her of her exes, because he keeps saying the things. He's being very complimentary.
Mhm.
But she wasn't getting depth,
Right.
and she needed that depth. So finally, he provided that.
Xavier is an interesting character, man,
Yeah.
because he's like knitting in the background in some scenes, and you're like, what is up with this guy,
Like,
man?
I knitted you a coaster. Yeah.
And then he's kind of quiet and shy, but he's like trying to get his like doctorate and then trying to cure his mom's disease and all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, yeah, man.
And oh man, yeah, that
He's
guy's
layered. He's an onion.
Yeah, he
That's
really
right.
is.
That dude's definitely done, no doubt, man.
But I'm digging him.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I was a little down because I thought the date was kind of boring, but he brought me back with
Mhm.
his
His-
motivation for what he
Start
does.
peeling them layers back a little bit.
Mhm.
And he brought Charity back too, because
Oh, yeah.
I thought the show was preparing us for his
Uh-huh.
departure, the way she was talking about the date, and then
Now you brought
after
it
that
back.
conversation,
You brought it back.
Yeah, and then the Bigfoot scene. I guess they set that up really weird.
Oh, yeah,
like he's
dude.
walking through the woods and just
Yeah, Brayden.
stumbles upon the house.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
That's at the cocktail party, right?
yeah,
So
and he
now-
just busts in the house and like shoots right past the guys,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Is that Braden? Like
Yeah.
what the?"
They're
heck?
like, look what
We
he's
knew
wearing.
exactly where to go.
Yeah, they're like, that dude's not even dressed up. He's wearing a freaking sweater and a damn scarf.
Flip-flops.
Yeah.
Yeah, and flip flops. And then it's funny because Sean's complaining about it. He's wearing a damn scarf. And
They're like, "What's that
and the-
different than
And
your
the producer's
scarf?"
like, yeah, but you're wearing a scarf. He's like, yeah, but this is cashmere.
I did love that scene. Though. This is
Cashmere.
cashmere.
Yeah.
He's like, "Don't even."
Yeah. I'll compare my scarf to
And I mean,
his.
he's in a suit on top,
Right,
right? So
he's-
come on,
right.
you know what I mean? But
Yeah, it's different.
That's right.
I mean, this guy's
and
wearing
this dude is
flip-flops.
just going all throughout the house,
Oh, yeah,
like
looking
opening
for-
doors, like
Yeah, not
Charity,
wrong
hello.
room, bro.
But then he walks in on John and Charity kissing, and he
And
just
just
stands
watches.
there.
Yeah,
and he's
That
just,
was
like,
awkward.
watching.
He
Homeboy
didn't
just-
even go.
Yeah, homeboy just get a free show, man.
And they just keep making out, and I was like,
And then she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh,
Oh, hello.
well, first he's like, oh.
He should be like, John,
And then she-
John, you're doing that wrong, brother. Let me show you how it's done. Yeah.
John, you're in my seat."
That's right.
I don't know the best way to react to this. Like, I wish the producer to just kind of never let him come back, but
Oh no, there's
This
no way.
is very
I
odd, and
know.
I imagine the show had to be in on all
Oh,
this
it had
because
to
I
be,
mean,
yeah,
it's transportation.
absolutely.
Like, where'd that come from?
this
But
is another night. He left. Yeah, this is the cocktail
Yeah, this is
party.
like 2 or 3 days later. He was like,
Yeah.
he's like the other night when the way things ended between us. I didn't feel right.
they probably
It's
like
like,
asked him,
damn.
like, "Hey, do you want to? Are you happy with the way you closed that out? No, I wish I could. You want to do it?
Yeah, we got you, bro. We got you. Yeah.
Yeah, but to walk in on that, and then poor Joey or
John.
John having to get up and like, I wish Charity had been like,
She'd be like, "Who? Excuse me, I'm in the middle of a date. You can go off to the side.
If you-
Maybe I'll talk to
yeah,
you."
if you need
exactly.
time with me, you wait your time. And I wish she had done that, but
Mm-hmm.
And then they have like a very awkward conversation where he's like, I just want to let you know it wasn't you. And she's like, oh, I never thought it was me. And
No,
she's
it
like,
wasn't me.
well, I just want to let you know. And she's like, I just said, I never
Why
thought
are
that.
you
That's not
here?
me.
Again, which is why it's always it's just about him. Like he didn't
Mhm.
come back to get back on the show or to win her back. He came back
Just to start shit. Yeah.
just to start shit.
And you know, like he isn't there for the reasons he says he is. Like, I just want to make sure you're feeling good. Get the hell out of here.
No, at
with
this
that.
point, no. Yeah.
No. Because if that was the case, he wouldn't come interrupt this night.
You know, and then of course,
Yeah,
would've done
and
that.
I'm
Mhm.
all on the guy's side on this one. Like, this is
Mhm.
just total BS,
yeah.
and he's wrecking the show and what these guys are trying to do.
And
no doubt.
Aaron is
Yeah,
being
Aaron-
his combative person.
I don't like Aaron how he
I
handled
like
because
what
John's
he-
trying to talk
Aaron's
to him
an
and get an apology, and
Yeah.
Aaron's like stepping in,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh,
And
And
like-
John's
and
trying
like-
to
and
be
like-
like a man and have a
yeah,
conversation.
and he
about
was
it
actually
versus, like,
conversing with
combative.
John, like, hey, bro, I ain't gonna
Right.
kiss you, John, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So, but then Aaron just kept putting his freaking, put his face up in there and say, dude, just get back, man. Get the hell out of here.
and then Sean piles in. I mean, I'm okay with that a little bit, but like Aaron's just too much. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, man, what are you doing? Just let him leave. He's leaving.
He's
Yeah,
leaving.
exactly.
So
Step on the gas, bro.
Yeah. But then what's funny
he
is
needs
that
to go too.
when
Yeah, he does.
John was sitting there, he's like, I'm on the chopping block. I don't have a rose, and you
Mhm.
interrupted my time. I literally said to myself, you ain't going anywhere. Like, you're one of the
I thought so too,
favorites.
man. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, John's
I was
good,
like,
man.
Man, what are you so nervous
Yeah,
about?
I was thinking the same.
Yeah, John is probably like the most mature out of all these guys,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
And she was just making
Making out
out
with
with
him.
him like
Exactly.
2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
2
Yeah, I couldn't
minutes
believe
ago,
it,
she's
man.
making out with him.
Yep.
But she's making out with Tanner, making out with everybody at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Michael,
Except Caleb. Caleb's the only one, man.
yeah, Caleb's the only guy don't get any kisses. So
Maybe
you
did.
know that connection wasn't really there.
Oh, no,
so
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those where, damn well the producer's like, hey, you just need to keep this guy around a little bit longer. So,
and he's very heartbroken though.
get to see that fake
He's
cry,
really
man.
falling for her.
Yeah, we get to see that fake cry. My connection with Charity is like, dude, you didn't get to kiss her, man. What connection you have with
Well,
her? You know what I'm
people are
saying?
just in the background on the show.
Yeah,
Like, what are
exactly.
you doing? Just here, like having fun.
Like, you should just feel happy that you got to come along for the ride as long as you did. You
Yeah.
know?
I mean, really.
It's like, man.
But some good people go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, most of all, I was like, damn, I cannot
Yeah.
believe it, man.
Well,
I-
it's getting tough now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw how many roses she had to give out, I was like, oh, she's cutting a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, she's getting down. So what, she cut 3 or 4?
And I'm kind of surprised.
Braden
I
left.
think it was 3. Yeah, because Braden List was 3 more, I think, on top of Braden.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
So John,
surprised she
Caleb, and
kept
Michael,
Sean, even though I like him. I like a
Yeah.
Prince
I could-
Charming. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I could do without Prince Charming.
I
no,
like
she
Prince
should've got
Charming.
rid
And
of
that
him and kept John.
cashmere thing, I'm like, yo, you just won me over.
That's-
No, I would have kept John over Sean.
Yeah,
for
no
sure.
doubt. So
No
so
doubt.
it was John, Caleb, and Michael, right? That left. I think it was the 3
I
that
think
left.
so.
Yeah. Or
Mhm.
did Tanner leave or Tanner stayed?
No,
No, he's
Tanner
still there.
stayed.
That's right. Yes, it was those 3.
It's like this is,
Yeah.
I think, the first episode she makes out with him. She makes
Yeah.
out with him pretty hard.
Yeah.
She's like, damn, she digs with
Well,
Tanner.
the
It's like,
first
dang.
kiss they showed
Mhm.
with them, he was just doing a bunch of pecks,
pecks.
like Woody Woodpecker kind of pecks. So I'm like,
Woody
I'm-
Woodpecker.
yeah, I was like, I'm a little
Like-
disappointed by this.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, oh, he's not a
Like-
good kisser.
like, that ain't
She's
gonna
not
do it for her,
keep
buddy.
him. But then she pulls him aside to
Yeah.
go make out with
She
him.
must
so I
have
was
liked,
there's
the
something
sample.
there.
Tanner gave the sample, and she
That's
went
right.
back
She's-
for the main
They
thing.
digging that, man. She's
So
digging Tanner.
I'm glad Tanner stayed, but I definitely would have kept.
Yeah, I can't
John
believe
over
she got rid of John, man. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like he was
I
my-
get Caleb and Michael.
I
Yeah,
do.
I get those two for sure. But I'm out for John. Like I think I said it last week or the week before. I was like, right now, I think John's probably the strongest, choice. And then no, dude's gone. It's like
I
damn.
would have kept John. Only 2 I would have swapped out is send Aaron home, kept John.
Yeah, and I think Aaron's got to get cut soon. I don't know what her.
Yeah, he's gotta go.
I liked Aaron at first, but there is too much. Braden brought out a side of him that I
Mm-hmm.
don't need to see. I don't like that.
He was also, I think, the coin guy. That
Yeah,
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheesy.
He's a clown.
Yeah.
Dude's gotta go.
So I'm okay with him leaving now.
So
But-
who's
but the
going
other one-
next?
I'm okay with him leaving next.
Well, the thing is,
Yeah.
how many are they gonna get rid of next? I mean,
Sean and him can go.
it's
I
just-
think I like her connection
Sean.
with Dotton. I like her connection with
Maybe
Xavier.
you don't remember Sean
And Joey.
playing Ken last
That's
week
right.
with the abs.
I
Mhm.
didn't.
I think
have
Charity
never
remembers.
cared for
I think
Sean.
Charity remembers.
Yeah, obviously. So I think the final 3 are going to come down to Xavier, Dotton, and Joey.
Oh yeah, we forgot about Dotton's in there. So
Yeah, and Joey, yeah.
I think those will be the final 3. And
Yeah,
if they're
Joey's pretty
not-
strong too. So
yeah, that's good to see. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, because I think Sean will go and I think Aaron will go. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
I don't know if Aaron goes
He needs
next
to go.
week,
He
but
needs to go, man.
we're getting close to the nitty gritty, and the choices only get tougher.
Yeah.
So
Especially when she's in love with all of them.
That's right. But yeah, I'm with you, Aaron. Freaking peace, brother. You gotta get the hell off this show.
Ooh.
Sorry to see this guy.
we'll see.
And Sean, I'm with you on that. I like Sean, but out of the remaining 4, if Aaron leaves, I think he'd be the next to go.
Maybe he'll recommend the Shrek 2 night or something. Like
She-
that. That'd
she-
be awesome.
yeah.
He's like, we'll dress up. I don't really need to.
I mean, because her date with Dotton, she obviously really enjoyed herself. You know, with Xavier, she had a freaking good thing going there, and then of course, with Joey, she's always those 2 are freaking making out like crazy every time they're together. So.
There's a connection with Joey.
Oh, yeah, big
that's-
time.
Yeah, I think Dotton might be on the chopping block as well, but he survived another week in my mind.
Well, she couldn't have done that date with anybody else, Josh.
Oh. yeah. Okay.
That's what she told us. So I couldn't see myself doing this date with anybody else.
Mm,
Yeah,
She'd have
sure.
done it with
Everybody else.
I
Right.
wonder if
Right.
words like that come back to bite people because this is a hard show, I think,
Yeah.
to end up in a successful relationship. Because like whoever you're with, like I just saw you make out with like 20 guys,
Yeah, exactly.
and that's ingrained in my mind.
And then you told that dude that you couldn't see yourself bungee jumping anybody else. So
yeah,
what, you and
exactly.
I
Then
can
you
never go bungee
rewatch
jumping
this
now?
and you're like,
Right.
what the heck is going on
Right.
here? It's not
Right.
like other shows where it's like you and one other person, like Love is Blind or something like that. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I don't know.
Is she gonna
I
tell-
mean, those are always tricky, and they just had conversations.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
Yeah, right,
And now
exactly.
you're like,
dated
I
her
full
through
made
a
out.
wall.
I mean, like for
Yeah.
instance, on this one, like she's jumping in Aaron's arms and they're
Oh, yeah,
making out.
yeah, he
So
was, like,
if she
holding her
doesn't
in.
end up with them, I'm like, what the heck is this, man?
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's weird to make out with somebody in front of the other guys that you're
Yeah.
dating.
Well, not only
It's
that.
not like she goes on these single dates and then makes out with
No.
them and no one else is around. Like she just makes out with them while everybody's watching.
Well, and not only that, but she
Sometimes.
literally bounces from what makes out with one, goes into another room, and makes out with the next one.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
It's like, damn,
that's
it's
odd.
great.
That's I don't know how I feel about that, especially after watching some other dating shows where that doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Like, dude's gonna come out, man. Breast smell a little fishy. Which one of you fuckers ate catfish tonight?
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, I just watched that. I'm like, damn, how the hell these dudes? Because I'm kind of with Braden. I'm
That's
with Braden
what
on that one.
Braden says,
I'm definitely
yeah.
with Braden on that one, man. Like
Yeah.
she just made out with 4 dudes, and now she's coming to me, and it's like,
And I just find it like you're telling me how awesome I am and how taken you are, but you just made out with someone else. Like, so
Right.
how true can that be?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And like,
I'm
what
totally
do
with
you,
Braden on that.
if you in your mind, you had to known you're sending John home, so why are you making
Hanging
out
out
with
with
them?
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is the same night.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
literally
Like,
like
within an
like,
hour.
like 20 minutes ago, you just made out with
I'm
a dude.
like,
and sent him home.
that's kind of messed up.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, there you have it.
There you
And
have
just
it.
like she likes to share the love, we share the love with you guys. We do this for you, the viewers. But seriously, though, hey, we do like doing this for you guys, and we love talking to you about it. So please tell us what you thought about the episode, and hit like and subscribe, and we will check you guys in our next review.
See ya.
See ya.